I will now call this meeting to order. We have a quorum. This meeting is being webcast live and recorded. The recording or webcast may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. I will now identify closed session items. 2.1 recommended expulsions, 2.2 recommended suspended expulsions, 2.3 public employee assignment, reassignment, appointment. We have directors and principals. 2.4 public employee discipline, dismissal, release complaints. 2.5 conference with labor negotiator. 2.6 conference with legal counsel, existing litigation. 2.7 anticipated litigation. 2.8 public employee evaluation. Public comment, general public comment on any closed session item will be heard at this time. Pursuant to board policy, the board will limit individual comments to no more than 3 minutes and individual topics to 20 minutes. It is recommended you begin your comments by stating your name. I see no public or public comment. So the board will now adjourn to closed session. Okay. Good evening. I'd like to welcome you, and we now convene the regular session. I'd like to welcome back our student board representative, Megan Donnelly from Visalia Charter Independent Study, who is taking the place of student board representative Sierra Velasquez. Sierra is attending a school event this evening and could not be with us. So thank you very much, Megan, for filling in tonight. I'd like to introduce the interpreter. Alondra Moran will serve as the Spanish interpreter for this meeting. Meeting attendees who would like to listen to the Spanish interpretation of this meeting, please pick up headphones from the table located in the back of the meeting room. This announcement will now be shared in Spanish.
Alondra Morán servirá como intérprete al español para esta reunión. Invitamos a los asistentes de la reunión que deseen escuchar la interpretación al español, el ir por audífonos en la mesa ubicada al fondo donde está la sala de reuniones. Gracias.
This meeting is being webcast live and recorded. The recording or webcast may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. Members of the public wanting to provide public comment on items listed on tonight's agenda, we recommend you fill out the public comment form, the green form located on the table immediately outside the northeast entrance of this meeting room. Please hand the completed form to Board Manager Delia Smart before the item comes up on the agenda. We recommend that you complete a separate form for each agenda item you'd like to comment on. Ms. Smart is sitting on the side over there. Members of the public providing public comment, please use the microphone on the stand located in the front of the room. Board Member Paul Belt will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Would you please stand with me?
Okay, I have several readouts from closed session. I'm going to start with in closed session on a motion by Board Member Odo and a second by Board Member Naylor. The board agreed unanimously to approve a settlement agreement between the district and CSEA classified employee EID number 4178. In closed session on a motion by Board Member Villegas and a second by Board Member Naylor, the board agreed unanimously to approve a settlement agreement with employee number 22687 to resolve state case number WC-CM-97220 with the California Labor Commissioner. And the board took the following action in closed session on a motion by Board Member Dr. Villegas and a second by Board Member Dr. Odo. The board voted unanimously to approve the settlement agreement between the district and the parties represented OAH case number 202-402-0101. And during closed session on a motion by Board Member Soleno and a second by Board Member Odo, the board took action to accept a resignation agreement as a certificated employee. And during closed session on a motion by Board Member Naylor and a second by Board Member Soleno, the board took action to accept a resignation agreement of a certificated employee. All right. Now some fun ones. In closed session on a motion by Board Member Soleno and a second by Board Member Naylor, the board agreed unanimously to appoint Sandra Polk to the position of Director of Family and Community Resource Center. Sandra Polk. There she is. Sandra Polk currently serves as the coordinator of the Family and Community Resource Center. Prior to this assignment, Ms. Polk served as a learning director at El Diamante High School and La Jolla Middle School for a total of 6 years. Prior to her work as an administrator, Ms. Polk was an education specialist for 9 years and a special day class teacher for 3 years. She has been employed with the district for a total of 20 years. Ms. Polk holds a Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies from California State University, Fresno, and a Master of Arts in Special Education from Point Loma Nazarene University. She holds an Education Specialist Instruction Credential, mild to moderate, and an Administrative Services Credential. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations to Ms. Polk. All right. In closed session on a motion by Board Member Naylor and a second by Board Member Belt, the board agreed unanimously to appoint Gina Fabrizio to the position of Director of Special Education. Gina here. Gina has been employed with Visalia Unified School District for 14 years. She was hired as a psychologist in 2012 and then was promoted to the district psychologist in 2017, where she has remained since. For the last 6 years, she has also done behavior intervention for autism. Prior to coming to VUSD, Ms. Fabrizio was a psychologist at West Contra Costa Unified School District for 4 years. Ms. Fabrizio holds a Bachelor of Science in Psychology with a minor in Applied Developmental Psychology from University of California, Los Angeles, and a Master's of Science in Counseling with an emphasis on school psychology from California State University, East Bay. She is a board-certified behavior analyst and holds a pupil personnel services credential and an administrative services credential. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations to Ms. Fabrizio. Okay. In closed session on a motion by Board Member Case Beer Soleno and a second by Board Member Gaby, the board agreed unanimously to appoint Nathan Taylor to the position of principal of Pinkham Elementary School. Nathan Taylor currently serves as an assistant principal at Ridgeview Middle School. Prior to his employment with VUSD, Mr. Taylor worked at Sanger Unified School District, where he served as a vice principal for 5 years and taught 4th and 5th grades for 5 years. Mr. Taylor holds a Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies from Fresno Pacific University. He holds a multiple subjects teaching credential and an administrative services credential. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations to Mr. Taylor. All right, in closed session on a motion by Board Member Belt and a second by Board Member Odo, the board agreed unanimously to appoint Adam Tompkins to the position of principal of Elbow Creek Elementary School. Adam currently serves as an assistant principal at Ridgeview Middle School. He also held an assistant principal position at Mount Whitney High School for 2 years and was the athletic director at El Diamante High School for 2 years. Mr. Tompkins worked at Mission Oak High School and Tulare Joint Unified as an assistant principal as well. Prior to his employment with USD, Mr. Tompkins taught English for 4 years. Mr. Tompkins holds a Bachelor of Arts in English from Westmont College and a master's degree in educational leadership and administration from California State University, Fresno. He holds a single subject teaching credential in English and an administrative services credential. On the behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations, Mr. Tompkins. All right. In closed session on a motion by Board Member Case Beer Soleno and a second by Board Member Belt, the board agreed unanimously to appoint Amanda Cooper to the position of principal of Royal Oaks Elementary School. Amanda Cooper currently serves as the assistant principal at Denton Elementary School. Prior to her employment with VUSD, Ms. Cooper served as an assistant principal at Exeter Union High School for 2 years. She's taught English for a total of 14 years prior to her administrator roles. Ms. Cooper holds a Bachelor of Arts in English from California State University, Sacramento, and a Master of Education from University of Phoenix. She holds a single subject teaching credential in English and an administrative services credential. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations to Ms. Cooper. All right, in closed session on a motion by Board Member Gaby and a second by Board Member Naylor, the board agreed unanimously to appoint Megan Perch to the position of principal at Denton Elementary School. Megan Perch has been employed with Visalia Unified School District for a total of 20 years. She is currently serving as an instructional coach at Oak Grove Elementary. In prior roles, Ms. Perch served as an assistant principal at Oak Grove Elementary and Golden Oak Elementary Schools for a total of 4 years. Prior to her work as an administrator, Ms. Perch taught 6th grade at Golden Oak Elementary for 16 years. Ms. Perch holds a Bachelor of Arts in Child Development with a minor in business from Cal Poly State University San Luis Obispo and a master's degree in educational leadership and administration from Fresno State University. She holds a multiple subject teaching credential and an administrative services credential. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations to Ms. Perch. All right, and one more principal, last but definitely not least, in closed session on a motion by Board Member Odo and a second by Board Member Villegas. The board agreed unanimously to appoint Alejandro Marroquin to the position of principal of Mount Whitney High School. Alex has been employed with Visalia Unified School District for 8 years, where he has served as assistant principal at Valley Oak Middle School and Redwood High School, and most recently as the principal of Divisadero Middle School. Prior to coming to VUSD, Mr. Marroquin spent 12 years in the classroom serving as a social science teacher. Mr. Marroquin holds a Bachelor of Arts in History from California State University, Fresno. He holds a single subject social science teaching credential and an administrative services credential. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations to Mr. Marroquin and to all of our new leaders or our leaders in new positions. Okay, lastly, during closed session, the board completed the superintendent's evaluation with an overall rating of exceeds expectations. Consistent with the superintendent's contract, this rating meets the standard for a satisfactory employment evaluation. Consistent with the board's beliefs and commitment, over the last year, the superintendent has laid the foundation for the district structures and procedures for a system of accountability. In the next year, the board expects the superintendent to continue to develop and implement those systems district-wide through coaching and feedback cycles necessary for staff growth, development, and retention that will support results in improved student learning outcomes and position all students for success. At a subsequent board meeting, the board will bring forward a new contract for the superintendent. And that concludes our readouts, but thank you again to Superintendent Schrum. We definitely value the work and the structures and procedures that we're setting forth here that you're starting to lay. And I know we're headed in a fabulous direction. All right. Revisions to enclosed items and adoption of the board meeting agenda. There are revised item enclosures number 6.1, 6.2, 8.9, 8.10, and 8.44. May I have a motion to adopt the revised board meeting agenda?
I'll motion.
Second.
Okay. What was this? Board member Villegas on the second, and call for a vote.
Motion passes with student board rep voting yes and 6 yays and 1 absent.
Okay, recognition of student representatives to the board. I will call Mr. Superintendent, Mr. Schrum.
Well, good evening, President Gaby, board members. Very excited to begin some of our recognitions for this evening. Obviously, while I'd like to think everybody here is here just to watch a board meeting, I do recognize we have a lot of student awards and recognitions of both students and staff, and that's part of what makes Visalia Unified special and unique. And so as we begin this tonight, we're going to recognize 6 student representatives to our school board. You may notice that we have a student representative that sits here and also shares information from their school sites and all the school sites. But more importantly, many of these individuals also serve on my superintendent's advisory council that we're going to spotlight later. And we're frequently eliciting and asking for their voice and their thoughts in the direction of our school district. They played an important role by expressing their opinions and perspectives through preferential voting at board meetings. And so on behalf of the Board of Education and myself, we appreciate your service to the board and Visalia Unified community. I will also point out that not every school district has such a position as a student board member. And so I think that's very unique. here in Visalia, and I compliment our board for making sure that this is something that is part of it, and I think it has been for a while now here in Visalia. So I'm going to ask each one as I call your name to come to the front. I'm going to give you a plaque, and then I'm going to make you awkwardly stand in the middle of the room. And then once I've called all of you up here, our board will come down and we'll do a group photo. And then, of course, I know there are parents and some other folks in the audience that would like to take some pictures as well. So to begin, I would like to ask Eliana Juarez from El Diamante High School to come up. From Mount Whitney, Camille Salmaran. From Redwood High School, Isaac Nelson. From Sequoia High School, Violet Bateman. From Visalia Charter Independent Study, Megan Donnelly. And then I also want to recognize two members that were unable to be with us tonight. Obviously, a lot of school events and things happening. So Sierra Vasquez from VTech, Visalia Technical Early College, and Maui Lewis from Golden West High School cannot be with us this evening, but we certainly congratulate them as well. So as our board comes down, we'll do a photo and let's give them another big round of applause. Make sure you get it.
Okay, and I'm excited to now move to Student Achievement Awards and Recognition. Assistant Superintendent of Learning and Leadership, Mark Thompson.
Good evening, Board President Gaby, board members, and Superintendent Schrum. I am Mark Thompson, Assistant Superintendent of Learning and Leadership, and tonight we have the pleasure of recognizing outstanding high school students in the areas of business education, mathematics, physical education, language development growth, science, along with educational options and overall academic achievement. The board will also recognize the United Student Association of Visalia, USAV, Spring Student of the Season. USAV consists of Visalia Unified School District secondary students dedicated to improving the educational programs and representing student views to the Board of Education. These students represent the best of the best from our schools and in the areas from which they have been selected, and we are very proud of them for their accomplishments and for how they represent their school and our district. Each of them is certainly worthy of this special recognition tonight. But before we begin, I would like to first recognize and thank the parents and families of each of these outstanding students. Your support, your encouragement is valued and appreciated. We recognize without you, the students don't thrive as much as they do. Let's give our parents a big hand. And I see many in this room. Also, I want to say thank you to the teachers and the staff at the school sites that do invest in the students each and every day. So let's give them a hand as well tonight. We are very happy to be able to take time tonight to honor these students and hear about their accomplishments. Students will receive a medal as part of their recognition, and we invite them to wear that very soon at our commencement ceremonies. Also, our communications team has created a card with a QR code that you as a parent can pick up from the table in the lobby. This card includes the date parents can access pictures from this meeting tonight. At this time, are we ready? All right, I'm going to invite Dr. Brandon Gridiron, principal of Redwood High School, and he will get us started this evening.
Good evening, everyone. For our first student from our business department recognition is Jacob Hutchinson. Jacob Hutchinson is a committed, hardworking, and motivated student who has dedicated countless hours to his school and community. He is our elected California Future Business Leader of America FBLA president, who achieved first place in 2 competitive events at the State Leadership Conference and Job Interview and Future Business Leader. Jacob is a great leader and an integral part of our business program and FBLA chapter at Redwood High School. He continues to make our department successful at Redwood and Redwood FBLA, an elite chapter. Please join me in congratulating Jacob Hutchinson. From our math department, Vincent Ruiz. Vincent exemplifies mathematical thinking and problem solving. He works diligently to understand content, and when he does not, he is not afraid to persevere through asking questions and challenging himself. Vincent is a student who is more than willing to help those around him. He has 2 math classes back to back first thing in the morning, and you would never know from his positive attitude. Vincent has a successful future to store because of his willingness to be resilient during academically challenging concepts. Please join me in congratulating Vincent Reese. From our PE department, the Redwood PE department nominates Emma Largoza for this year's PE award. Emma is an excellent student and a determined individual that always exceeds all expectations of her. Emma is a leader by example in class and always gives her best effort on all tasks she is given. Emma is a dedicated student who takes pride in her academics and currently has a 4.0 GPA. Emma comes to class prepared every day and is a great role model for her peers. Please join me in congratulating Emma Lagarza. From our language development department, Diego is an EL student and has made tremendous growth in English language development. He currently is earning an A in English and world history with a GPA of a 3.83. He entered the Avid program in the middle of the year and adapted quickly. He is very aware of what he needs to do to be successful, He always offers to answer questions and is not scared to share his ideas. He is involved with Link Crew, ASB, and other extracurricular activities. Please join me in congratulating Diego Burnell. From our science department, Adam Hacker. Adam Hacker demonstrated his ability to problem solve and never struggle with any of the conceptual challenges in his science courses. He is strategic and has the analytical ability to flourish in the field of computer science and electrical engineering at UC Berkeley. Adam is exactly the type of young man who is not only excited by the prospect of challenging his mid, but also has the intelligence and resolve to take on the demands of the coursework. Please join me in congratulating Adam Hacker. One of our USAV students of the season is Isabella Del Toro. Isabella is driven in all aspects of her life and as always has a positive attitude. She's a great student and friend. She is punctual, creative, and kind. She has worked extremely hard to graduate early. Isabella was one of the community service commissions and worked in conjunction with our feeder elementary schools to host an ASB reading event with their kinder classes, which I participated in. It was fun, so thank you, Isabella. So please join me in congratulating Isabella Del Toro. And our second USAV student of the season is Taylor Langford. Taylor is a part of a Redwood ASB. She currently serves as the rally commissioner and next year will be our ASB president. She has worked extremely hard to ensure that rallies this year are exciting and engaging. She faces challenges head on and tackles them with poise and grace. She's involved in multiple clubs and groups on campus. Taylor loves Redwood and works hard to make everyone on campus have just as much fun as she does. Please join me in congratulating Taylor Langford.
Thank you, Redwood. Next up, we have Mrs. Carly Harkins from Visalia Charter Independent Study.
Good evening. First tonight, I would like to recognize two of our students for overall achievement at VCIS. And first tonight, we have Alex Hernandez. And Alex, you can just stay right there, okay? There you go. Alex, head right back over to Bella. There you go. We practiced so much and you got nervous. Okay. Alex, go ahead and step forward. Alex is an excellent student, a true Eagle, attending VCIS all 4 years. He is organized, determined, and possesses a strong desire for growth and knowledge. Alex's goal-oriented demeanor has helped him to excel in all areas during his high school career. He has maintained a 4.0 average, taken COS classes, will earn CSF lifetime membership status, while also being a member of the Redwood varsity football team. Alex is pursuing a career in engineering or computer science. He will achieve all the goals and aspirations he sets for himself. Congratulations, Alex. Next tonight for our overall achievement winner from VCIS, Miss Bella Mitchell. Bella Mitchell graduated a full semester early. She's a Principal's List Award winner, Defensive Player of the Year winner for the volleyball team at Redwood High School, and a VCIS award winner for outstanding achievement. In her free time, she's a volunteer Sunday school teacher at her church, a library volunteer at Riverway Elementary, and at Green Acres Middle School in their athletic department. She also held an internship at the Visalia Learning Center. Bella plans to attend COS in the fall and plans to become a teacher. I was proud to be her middle school principal, and even more so now. Tonight for our first USAV award winner from VCIS, Mr. Natan Arzate. Natan has been at VCIS since the spring of his freshman year and has grown tremendously academically and socially. He has earned a 4.0 almost every semester at VCIS. Natan has been such a strong leader this year in our ASB class. He is a secretary on the executive board and has been an impactful voice for USAV. He never hesitates to advocate for ways to better VCIS. Natan is signed up and ready to attend COS next year and plans to work towards becoming a veterinarian. Congratulations, Natan. And last tonight for VCIS for USAV, Miss Alyssa Campos. Alyssa has a 3.9 GPA and is a very involved student at VCIS. She is a member of our pharmacy technician program and will receive her certification at our pinning ceremony next week. Alyssa is also very involved with our other performing arts department classes over her years, including vocal performance, dance choreography, stagecraft design, and the VCIS rock band. She is extremely talented and will be singing the national anthem at our commencement ceremony on June 3rd. Alyssa will be attending COS in the fall, where she will major in the medical field. Her future is very bright. Alyssa Campos.
Thank you, Mrs. Hawkins and VCIS. Next up, we have VTech, also known as Visalia Technical Early College, and Mr. Braun.
As you can see, I have no students here tonight because they're at grad night. So they had to choose grad night or being recognized. So I would like to read them because I do have some parents in the audience. So my first student, I'm proud to present VTech's USAV Spring Achievement Award to Elisa. Mr. Saldana and Mrs. Garcia, your daughter's talent and hard work are a testament to your unwavering support and guidance. In addition to her outstanding qualities of being a quiet leader, Elisa has excelled here at VTech in our horticulture classes and our club. She's earned the Golden State Seal of Merit and earned her college and career readiness cords while being ranked 8th at VTech. It is with immense pleasure and honor that I present the USAV to Elisa Saldana Garcia. I'm proud to present VTech's USAV Spring Award to Evan Weaver. Evan Weaver is a student at VTech. Mr. and Mrs. Weaver, or excuse me, Mr. Weaver and Mrs. McVeigh, your son has grown so much over the past few years. I have known him at VTech. From earning admissions as part of our MAP program to UC Merced, to college classes at COS, as well as being ranked 7th in his senior class. He is often seen working with the advanced horticulture students, developing and improving our arbor here at VTech. Congratulations, Evan. In our overall achievement, I am excited to honor Arturo. Arturo is accompanied by his parents, Mr. Herrera and Mrs. Guzman. We celebrate Arturo's accomplishments. He has taken 4 COS classes and earned credits in each of them. Currently, Arturo is taking a math course, which he states is quite challenging. Recently, Arturo completed a set of tests to earn his seal of biliteracy and his college and career readiness cords. Please join me in congratulating Arturo in his accomplishments here at VTech as well as at COS. Thank you so much. And my final award is to Chris, his overall achievement, and he is accompanied by his mother, Miss Hermosia. Recently, Chris excelled in the challenging exam in his seal of biliteracy and earning college and career readiness cords. I've had many discussions with him over the course of this year, and he's taken a psychology class at COS and stated he's really enjoying that class. In conclusion, please join me in congratulating Chris on his accomplishments here at VTech as well as at COS. He is a leader here at VTech.
You know, we're gonna do something a little bit different here since they weren't able to be here. If you were one of those parents, are you here tonight? If you're here and your student was not here, would you? Well, you can help bring them up real fast. We'll get a quick picture with them.
Oh.
Si tenemos los padres aquí, queremos tomar una foto con ustedes para reconocer todos los trabajos que ustedes han hecho por sus hijos, por favor.
Thank you, Mr. Braun, VTech. Next up, we have Sequoia High School with Mr. Adolfo Reyes.
Good evening. I'm with Sequoia High School, the school that restores. My first student is Sophie Castro. When Sophie first joined Sequoia, Sophie was struggling with personal and life challenges, but with the support from staff, self-reflection, and goal setting, Sophie began a transformation. As a result, Sophie has excelled academically and will graduate with the class of 2024. Sophie has enrolled at COS and will pursue a career in nursing. Her story is a testament to the power of hard work and determination, and Sequoia is strong. Sequoia is proud to present Sophie Castro for tonight's board award. And her buddy, Geraldine Nunez Borja. Thank you. Geraldine is Sequoia's first ever Seal of Biliteracy recipient and led the way for many other students. Geraldine became successful at Sequoia by changing her attitude towards school and taking advantage of the resources available at Sequoia, such as the Excel After School Tutoring Program and the College Readiness Workshops. As a result of her hard work, Geraldine will graduate with the class of 2024, and she graduated fairly early this year. She states that Sequoia has pushed her to do better and meet friends with the same goal of graduating despite early setbacks. She will be enrolled at SJVC, and she starts this June. Sequoia is proud to present Geraldine for tonight's board award. The student that could not be with me is Rosalie Gama. Working with Rosalie as a student leadership for the last 6 months at Sequoia has been a pleasure. She goes out of her way to help with noontime activities and events on campus. Last quarter, Rosalie was one of the main leaders in our student store and inventory control. Rosalie attended the California Association of Student Leaders in Ontario, California. Rosalie will be graduating with the class of 2024. Sequoia is proud to present Rosalie Gama for tonight's board award. Hazel Aranzazu. Please join us up front. Hazel has been fantastic in running our student store in the past quarter. She kept inventory and identified sales patterns. Student leadership has helped Hazel boost her confidence and leadership. She soon became one of our top communications person in the group. Hazel was also selected to attend the California Association of Student Leaders in Ontario, California. Hazel is petitioned to return to LD, a school I know that she will contribute very highly. Sequoia is proud to present Hazel for tonight's board award.
Thank you, Sequoia, Mr. Reyes. Next up, we have from Mount Whitney, we have, just kidding. Let's jump in there before that. I just missed out. With Visalia Adult School, we have Mrs. Tammy Olson. Come on down.
I could be from Mount Whitney because I graduated from there, but that was many years ago. So tonight, Visalia Adult School is honored to recognize first Michaela Gibbs, if you'll step forward. Due to a severe car accident, Michaela had to retire from the California Department of Corrections, and her medical team advised her to go back to school and to attend the Visalia Adult School, and she enrolled in our medical billing and coding program. There were times Michaela wanted to drop. She said this was supposed to help release stress, not add to it. Her former career gives her opportunities to share with her peers that life has different avenues and unexpected moments. She has challenged herself to be a top student and has maintained her goal. She graduated with honors. She just finished, finals are tomorrow, today. She just finished today, and she's doing it again. Congratulations, Michaela. And next we have Haley Dodson. Haley consistently exceeds academic expectations. She attended VCIS, the Visalia Adult School CNA program, and now the vocational nursing program. Her positive attitude and professionalism make her a valued member of the healthcare community. Despite housing instability, limited support, and minimal academic direction, Haley never lost sight of her dream of becoming a nurse. Haley's 3-year-old daughter, Mallory, supports her mom by getting a piece of paper and crayons to participate in homework study sessions. Haley credits her motivation and her success to her daughter and her significant other, Gonzalo. Congratulations, Haley.
Let's give one more hand for Visalia Adult School. That's pretty amazing. Next up, we have from Mount Whitney High School, Mr. Bob Aguilar. Come on down, Mr. Aguilar.
Good evening, everyone. I am Bob Aguilar, Principal at Mount Whitney. And before I get started, I'd like to offer my congratulations to Alex, as he's going to succeed me as I go into my retirement. And I look forward working with you, Alex, to become a pioneer. So excited about that. Also, we have one student that's not able to join us tonight. He's playing in a playoff baseball game down the street against CBC, and that is Aiden Brown. He is our outstanding student in physical education. Aiden has a mindset of trying to improve himself 100% every day in the weight room. He started weight training as a freshman and never was intimidated by upperclassmen. Instead, he looked at upperclassmen as a resource on how to get better. He now passes on advice to other students. Aiden stands out because he is focused, works to get stronger, and looks to improve his athleticism. Mount Whitney offers its congratulations to Aiden Brown as our outstanding student in physical education. Now with our students that are here, and that we start with our outstanding student in business, and that is Cassidy Bruton, 12th grader. Cassidy has been a four-year member. Yes, please. Bruton has been a four-year member of the business department, which includes photography, graphic arts, and yearbook, and has been the yearbook editor for 2 years. Cassidy is a talented artist, creating many works of art and serving as our yearbook staff artist. She has also completed the local graphics design competitions and has been hired to create a logo and graphics for a local business. Cassidy has excelled producing a cumulative 3.92 GPA while also playing 3 different sports. Please join me as Mount Whitney congratulates Cassidy Bruton for a job well done. Next up, we have our outstanding student in math, Eric Estrada, 12th grader. Eric has a natural aptitude for mathematics shown by his ability to comprehend complex concepts. Eric demonstrates his resilience and determination in taking on challenges, and he's adept at thinking critically and solving problems. In the cloud computing course through Arizona State, Eric was placed in the top 5% in the country for his performance in the class. Eric joined our after-school math tutoring program to help other students, all the while maintaining an overall 4.05 GPA. Congratulations to Eric Estrada as Mount Whitney's outstanding student in math. Next up, our outstanding student in learning growth development is Nehun Ortiz Garcia, 11th grader. At the start of the school year, it was challenging to understand Nehun's writing, but over the school year, he has shown tremendous improvement by jumping up 4 reading levels in 1 semester. Nehun has become an avid reader and has even asked how to order books for himself. He's also very kind with his peers, and he's always ready to help in any way. He's become their go-to peer for help. Mount Whitney is proud to recognize Nehun Garcia for his growth and learning development. Congratulations. Our next outstanding student is in science, and it's Kimberly Guerra, 12th grader. The Mount Whitney High School Kimberly is a pathway completer and a 4-year member of the Academy of Health Science. She holds an officer position in our school site council, Cal OSHA chapter, Kimberly has committed herself to her school, to her peers, and to her academics, especially in science. The science department holds the utmost respect for Kimberly and is incredibly proud to have her in our classes as well as part of the Pioneer family. Mount Whitney congratulates Kimberly Guerra for an outstanding student in science. Our USAV Spring Student of the Season is Carlos Cruz, 12th grader. Carlos will be missed on our campus next year. He's actively involved in Link Crew, Mount Whitney's Merchandise Club, Key Club, and ASB. He can be given a task and he will see it from start to finish. He also goes above and beyond creating his own work days to get things done around campus. He is a valued member of Mount Whitney and ASB. We are honored to present to you Carlos Cruz, our Mount Whitney's USAV Spring Student of the Season. Congratulations. And our final USAV Spring Student of the Season is Thomas Hall's 12th grader. Thomas is currently participating in 3D art and physical education, as well as taking classes in the Specialized Learning Center. Thomas is very kind and has grown tremendously over the years in his communication skills. He loves attending school and always puts forth his best effort in everything he does, both inside and outside of the classroom. Thomas has grown so much in the past 4 years, he now initiates greetings. We are very proud to honor Thomas with the USAV Spring Student Season of the Award. Congratulations, Thomas.
Thank you, Mount Whitney. Next up, we have El Diamante High School with Mrs. Kim Nelson, principal.
I am honored and privileged to recognize outstanding El Diamante students. Students, when I say your name, please step forward. Sydney Fifield. We'll give her applause. Sydney Fifield is an exceptional student who outshines many of her peers in mathematics. Mr. Robb states, very few students have been able to never make a single mistake in Math 3 honors, but Sydney did it in both semesters in this course. Not a single mistake. That's amazing. She does not shy away from a challenge. She is a gifted young lady, and we are confident she will be successful in whatever she does. Please help me to congratulate the amazing Sydney Fifield. Reagan Cooper. Reagan Cooper is the recipient of the Science Award. She has taken several advanced science courses and even took AP Chemistry and AP Environmental Science at the same time last year. Reagan invests enormous effort and time to be successful in all her science classes and her other classes as well. And she still manages to be an active member of her school community by participating in water polo, swimming, and numerous clubs. In addition, Reagan is a valued member of the AVID community, and she applies her scientific background during AVID tutorials. Congratulations, Reagan. Job well done. Montserrat Sanchez. At the end of her freshman year, Montserrat Sanchez inquired about the seal of biliteracy. She sees her bilingualism as a strength and an asset and has worked to master 2 languages. In the past year, she has been redesignated through LPAC testing and earned an A in both AP English and AP Spanish. She strives for academic excellence as an avid student and recently completed a project for the State Seal of Civic Engagement. Congratulations, Montserrat, on earning the Language Development Award. Eliana Juarez. As the ASB president, Eliana, an exceptional student leader, has shown unwavering dedication to El Diamante. Her commitment to representing the students of EDHS on campus and in the community has profoundly impacted our school culture. In addition to her position in ASB, she has served on the school board and the superintendent's committee. Her exemplar character demonstrated through perseverance, integrity, courage, and kindness has set a standard for all of us. It is a great honor to present this award to her for her outstanding service to El Diamante High School. Chance Ibarra. Chance, our spring USAV student of the season, is exceptional at El Diamante. He's an outstanding student, athlete, and leader, actively participating in various clubs and sports, including mock trial, cross country, and track. His dedication to his role as rally commissioner, for which he has been awarded this honor, is truly commendable. Chance consistently goes above and beyond. His committee has planned and presented 6 assemblies this year, celebrating the amazing students at El Diamante. I am incredibly proud and honored to present this award to him. Congratulations, Chance. We have a few outstanding minors who cannot be here this evening due to prior commitments and activities. I am truly proud of all these incredible students this evening. Way to go. Once a minor, always a minor.
Yeah, come this way a little bit. Thank you, El Diamante. If you guys want to head out that way, thank you very much. Next up, we have Golden West and Principal Mr. Lambert.
Good evening. I'm here to talk to you about some amazing trailblazers. First trailblazer I'd like to talk about is Alondra Rivas. Go ahead and step forward, Alondra. She's our award winner from Business Education. Alondra Rivas is nominated for her exceptional academic prowess in both the business program and her significant contributions to agriculture. She excels in both realms, demonstrating dedication, achievement, and a thirst for knowledge. Alondra epitomizes the fusion of academic excellence and real-world engagement, inspiring others with her leadership, scholarship, and service. Her nomination reflects confidence in her ability to continue making remarkable contributions in both fields, serving as an inspiration for future generations. Alondra Rivas. Our next award winner comes to us from the PE department, and that's Gerardo Guerra. Gerardo shines as an exemplary student in PE, consistently engaging, dressing out, and elevating his physical fitness. His upbeat demeanor, coupled with a growth mindset, sets him apart as a positive force in class. Demonstrating leadership potential, Gerardo embodies dedication, enthusiasm, and willingness to grow. With his proactive approach and optimistic outlook, he emerges as a standout figure, inspiring others and paving the way as a leader in development. Once again, Gerardo Guerra. Our final award winner this evening, coming from the Language Development Growth, is Vanessa Martinez. Vanessa moved to the United States from Mexico during second semester of last year. Accordingly, her English was very limited. In the short time that Vanessa has been at Golden West, her English has improved dramatically due to her hard work, courage, and dedication. Many newcomers are understandably timid about speaking in English, but not Vanessa. She's always strived to speak as much English as possible, which has contributed to her tremendous growth in English language development. Congratulations, Vanessa. We have a few award winners that couldn't be here tonight. They are probably on the Pirates of the Caribbean as we speak over at grad night. And that one was Francisco Lopez Altamirano for science. Gavin Grapetti, our USAV Spring Award winner. Wyatt Myers, our other USAV Spring Award winner. And Victoria Barrera, our award winner for math. And those are some other amazing trailblazers, but congratulations to all of our winners this evening.
And at this time, that concludes our Student Achievement Award night. So thank you so much. And we have amazing students. It's just great to be able to honor them here tonight. So let's give them one more big hand of applause. Thank you.
Yes, definitely. Congratulations to the students and yes, to the parents who supported them and nudged them along towards those achievements. And I'm going to stall and give the directors, principals, everybody a minute here to get in from DO4. And I think we're also welcoming the parents of our student performance tonight. So glad they can be with us. Wow. Okay, as we all come in, I will announce our student performance is Redwood High School Musical Theater Group and presenter Assistant Superintendent of Learning and Leadership, Mark Thompson.
All right, good evening, board. You guys are in for a treat right now. I know some of us are here for maybe other awards and spotlights that are going on, but you are here for a treat. We do have from Redwood High School in February, they had their school play, Mean Girls. And these two students here were, I believe, leads of that. So come on up. We have Jacob Lucio and Mara Samprito, and they are directed. You have not been to a Redwood theater play, you're missing out. Definitely gotta go there. We have them at every school site. They're amazing. But tonight you're just gonna get a quick introduction to Mean Girls. And this is directed and led by Stacy Galvan, our drama director at Redwood High School. Before you guys start, let's have people kind of move in. If you can, find a seat and settle in, and then we'll get started. So we'll give you guys just a moment.
It's a cautionary tale of fear and lust and pride based on actual events where people died.
No one died, but how far would you go to be popular and hot? Would you resist temptation?
No, you would not.
Just admit it, sometimes mean is what you are. Mean is easier than nice. And though mean can take you far, maybe this will make you think twice. Okay, lay out Foxy.
This is
A cautionary tale about corruption and betrayal and getting hit by a bus.
You can buy integrity at the mall. It's not for sale.
Truth. This is a cautionary tale.
That's not easy to do. Let's give them one more big hand. Board, if you guys want to come back up to your seats.
Wow, just wow. Yes, we should watch the rest of the show. So All right, moving on to focus on student learning and spotlight on good things happening in the district. Superintendent Shrum.
Thank you, President Gaby, board members. Also want to echo, our student performances are some of the highlights of the year, just what our high schools do. You just saw a sample of that talent, and that is pervasive throughout our district. And so, just very proud of them. That definitely is not easy to do. And just all of our teachers and parents and others that support that. We have, such a great VAPA program here. We'll highlight some of that tonight, of course, in the spotlight, in addition to clubs and our sports and all those other things as well. So if you want to be connected in Visalia Unified as a student, you can be connected. So very proud of that. As we move into our spotlight tonight, we have a lengthy spotlight, obviously, in the sense that May is a very busy time of year, lots of things happening. And so we captured a lot of it here, and then we'll do a few more events in the July meeting. So to begin with some of our energy awards, we have some representatives from Synergistic here tonight. Again, proud of 30 of our schools were presented with Energy Star awards. They rated in the top 25% nationwide for efficiency. All of the USD elementaries, Green Acres Middle, received the award. And so thank you to our team from Synergistic here tonight. If you want to stand so we can thank you, that helps save some money for our district. And so while we're also doing it for the environment, but I mean, saving money is also important too. So thank you for that. Moving on to our Science Olympiad. We and as I go through these, we do have some students that are here for different sections. And so we'll pause and recognize any that we have. I want to congratulate Oak Grove, Annie R. Mitchell, and Hurley. They took first, second, and third place respectively at TCOE's Elementary Science Olympiad. Is it a coincidence that these schools had STEM nights? Maybe, maybe not, but congratulations to these students and our staff for their support. As I go through a couple of these, you're going to notice a theme about advanced learning opportunities. And as I've mentioned to this board, we put aside, this board can, through our budget, provided money to each school site based on their attendance, based on their number of students, to support initiatives like Honor Society, Science Olympiad. You're also going to see that in our strategic plan as an action, because being able to participate in these events shouldn't be dependent upon what school you go to. And so that's why you're going to see that in our strategic plan, because we want to have these types of opportunities available at every single one of our schools. Continuing on with this spotlight for success, Reading Revolution. At our elementary sites, over on the literature side of academics, out of 200 elementary students and 47 teams across the county, I'm very proud to announce that Manuel Hernandez's Parchment Readers and Bookworm teams won first and second place, respectively, in the morning competition, and the Novel Knights from Oak Grove Elementary won second place in the afternoon competition of Reading Revolution. So if we have any Reading Revolution students here, definitely please stand. Moving to our middle school, we see here that Reading Renegades from Oak Grove Elementary School won second place. It's participating in events like these that encourage and promote literacy. I want to thank our board, Science Olympiad, and Reading Revolution, of course, made possible because of this allocation of funds that we continue to make sure our schools have to support these opportunities. Spotlight on Community Design Challenge, culminating projects at the county level. Redwood High School students from the Architecture, Construction, and Engineering Academy, ACE Academy as it's known, won second place in this year's Community Design Challenge, and they received a $1,000 prize. So congratulations to those students. FFA Agriculture, and you can see some names there. They're a little bit small, but over at Golden West High School, the Future Farmers of America Agricultural Mechanics team competed in the Cal Poly State Finals. This team came in 7th out of 39 teams with individual accolades to the students on the screen. And we have incredible FFA teams across the district, but definitely congratulations to these students on their accomplishment. Might add that several of us on the board had an opportunity to attend one of the FFA banquets. We always try to do that every year, and those are always also amazingly wonderful events. So State Leadership Conference, El Diamante High School's leadership program led by President Eliana Juarez, who we heard about earlier, was presented the Outstanding Leadership Program Award by the California Association of Student Leaders at the State Leadership Conference in April. Several ASB students are part of my student advisories, and with these students are truly incredible and what a well-deserved recognition. Continuing with our internship recognition, last week we held our student internship recognition. Over 200 students complete over 15,000 internship hours during the school year. Internships help students put their education to work and get hands-on experience. We talk a lot about students needing soft skills and other things like how to work in a work environment, right? And it's internships and the teachers that make these connections happen that provide that, right? It's hard to teach a soft skill, right? But when you're in an internship, you're experiencing that every day. And so very proud of our internship programs. Want to give a spotlight to our Kiwanis students. So West Visalia Kiwanis recognized students from Crowley, Willow Glen, and Mount Whitney as Students of the Month and presented high school students with scholarships. We're incredibly grateful to our partners and community who use this time to deliver student awards and scholarships. And speaking of student scholarships, one of the highlight academic successes of the year is our California Scholarship Foundation. Over 215 high school seniors from our comprehensive high schools earned a lifetime membership recognition for their academic excellence and holding 3.6 or above and for all 3 qualifying years of high school. In addition, they do many other things as well to receive that. They were recently recognized at a luncheon as they do each year at the convention center. And so it's a really great opportunity to recognize them for their accomplishment. Continuing in the realm of scholarships, each of our high schools hold scholarship nights, and a myriad of scholarships from community partners to schools and others participate. This year, well over $1.8 million worth of scholarships, and probably a lot more than that. We don't necessarily always know. Some of that self-reported, so I would say definitely more than that, but that's a great start. We're still waiting on a few more of those to come in, but just thank you to all our community partners who help support all of these scholarship events at the schools to give students a little bit of extra help as they transition into post-secondary world. And speaking of that, board, you know, we've invested in a couple of partnerships with local universities, including Fresno Pacific, UC Merced, and Fresno State. And I am thrilled to say that last month, over 476 11th graders were notified of their eligibility to apply to the UC Merced automatic admissions program. In other words, they met criteria, and if they wanted to walk into a UC, they could, if they take advantage of this opportunity. And of course, you know, finish their senior year. That comes in helpful. This represents a 4% increase in 11th grade students that were eligible from last year when we just started. So word is definitely spreading, and we'll bring back information around our Bulldog Bound and others as well. But again, next year, if all of these students continue to meet the qualifications, they are guaranteed a spot at the UC. I encourage many more of our students to take advantage of one of these guaranteed programs that we currently have, and looking for more with UC Merced, Fresno Pacific, or Fresno State, because higher education is within the reach of every one of our students. And now we're bringing our partners in so that they know there is a way for you to access post-secondary opportunities. Continuing with some sports, moving into our CIF Central section, very proud of our Mount Whitney boys swim team, secured their first CIF Central section championships in Mount Whitney history on Saturday, May 4th. Jaden Castillo was the Division II CIF Central section diving champion for the second time in his career and placed second at the state qualifying meet. In total, the Pioneers came home with 18 medals. What an achievement, and congratulations to Mount Whitney boys swim team. And another individual, and I believe he's here tonight, Tasman Fulfilled, if you would stand really quick. I want to recognize you. You're no stranger to our board. Now, I love following our esports teams, as most people know. I'm partly fascinated because I didn't really grow up with some of that, and I have no idea what they do, but it's really exciting, right? And so I really want to highlight Tasman, but also our teachers and others. He defended and won the West Regionals once again. This includes schools in the Mountain, Pacific, Alaska, and Hawaii time zones. And this is the only time a middle school student has gone back-to-back on the fall and spring majors for middle school esports. He and his family are here tonight. We just recognized you. Congratulations to you, and for putting Visalia Unified on the esports map. Congratulations. Now, I know there are also scholarships available for that too. So probably thinking, oh, a few years down the road. Yeah. Okay. Moving on to continue some of our work with sports here. You see some of our students highlighted on the screen. The downtown Visalia Kiwanis recognized student athletes from the spring season with the Pursuing Victory and Honor Award. Congratulations to these students and thank you for the coaches who nominated them for their sportsmanship throughout the season. Another fun event in the community or at our schools district, 123 Andres. This is on the first of the month, our dual immersion program held a free bilingual music event to promote and engage with current and prospective families of the program. Understand these are Grammy award-winning individuals as well and put on a great show. We had over 500 individuals attend the events, with several families traveling a good distance as well to attend the show. This year, we expanded our DLI program to a second campus, and we're expanding grade levels to include TK as well. So this program continues to grow. And so what a great event for our families. In April, we hosted our Visalia Partners in Education event known as VPI. This event recognizes a business partner from each Link Learning Academy who has provided support through an advisory committee participation, industry tours, guest speaking, job shadowing, and internship opportunities. Thankful again for all of our partners who welcome our students into their businesses and provide those mentorship opportunities. Continuing with some of our college readiness, also very proud to have a great partnership with College of Sequoias. And all of our sixth graders each year have the opportunity to go and view the majors through our hands-on experiences at the College of Sequoia. These opportunities highlight the importance of pursuing higher education and build a college-going culture at VUSD. Thank you to COS for hosting this event and our college and career teams for their hard work. This was also the day after VPI, so they had a lot going on and were able to do all of those in style. Want to give a minute to shout out some individuals, and a few are here tonight, and so I'll have you stand in just a minute. But one of the first things that I had the opportunity to attend when I had been named superintendent was a student voice event that was held at one of our schools a couple of years ago. And from that, recognizing the importance of making sure we have ongoing student voice. And so as the superintendent, I started superintendent student advisories. And this group of students, we meet several times a year. We're now in year 2 of this program and we keep evolving it. The first year was pretty much all virtual. They indicated, hey, we want some opportunities to meet in person. And so we brought them to the district office and did some of that. And we're meeting with them, I think it's tomorrow, and going to talk about how do we continue to improve and expand their voice and make that even more impactful and powerful. So really proud of this group of students all the way from our elementary to middle and high schools. And so if you are here tonight and have been part of the superintendent's advisor, if you would please stand so we can give you a round of applause and recognize you. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. And thank you to the parents that helped get them here. And we did some transportation and fed some lunch. And, that's always an important thing. It wasn't the cafeteria lunch, although cafeteria lunch is great, but we gave them something different. And, but I'll look forward to continuing to think about how your voices can contribute to what we do in our district as we build our strategic plan and as a way to find out how are we doing as a district. Right? We hear from adults a lot, we hear from others, but how often do we make sure we hear from our students on what's happening in our classrooms? And so thank you for your voice and look forward to those of you that are moving on. Congratulations, but I know some of you might have an opportunity to continue serving in advisories as you move into the next grades. Continuing with that voice, many of our staff may realize we are holding superintendent connection visits throughout the district. So this Thursday will be my last in-person faculty meeting with a school site for the school year. We'll pick them back up in September. We've visited about half of our school sites so far. And these are intentional at getting feedback and making systemic changes that we know are necessary for our student voice. And I also want our staff to know, one of the things I do at each one of these visits is make a point to say, as they give us their feedback, we collect that as a district, and that's feedback that we're constantly reviewing in our district departments to see how we're doing. And so we know that these next couple of years, financially and others, are probably going to be challenging in California. So how do we work together to make sure we position our employees, our students, and others for the greatest success? And so thank you to our teachers. The feedback has been amazing. Everyone has participated. And I just want to thank our principals also for helping to get all that set up and willing to give up a faculty meeting so that we can have this meeting in its place. And so I appreciate that. And, oh, there we go. Also want to spotlight, a lot of work goes in behind the scenes to systems that people sometimes don't see, right? PowerSchool is one of those systems. It's our student information system. And so what you know it from is your interface, right? Able to do certain things, but there's a lot of technological work that goes on behind the scenes to make it work. And so recently PowerSchool brought some individuals from across the ocean, from Marif schools in Saudi Arabia, to visit some districts in California who they, through their lens, are doing a good job at implementing PowerSchool. And so we were proud to host them, and Rick Hamilton and other members of our team were able to show them some of what we're doing. We also had many of our principals participate as well. And even though it's a great distance, it's amazing how similar challenges and opportunities are no matter where you are when it comes to education. So it was a great opportunity to share some trades, information, and all of those things. And so we appreciate that. Speaking of highlighting our staff, in the last couple of weeks, we received a lot of, we've had our Teacher of the Years and other things that we recognized. And so a few more we want to add to that. Tiffany Bridgewater from our Visalia Adult School received the CCAE Central Section Outstanding Teacher Award. That's within adult education. Lydia Borquez, also from Visalia Adult School, received the Supportive Services Award staff. I mean, we already know how amazing our adult school is, right? So not surprising that we have some teachers spotlighted there at the state. Also, Nadia Strong and Jessica Holbrooks, both education specialists from Royal Oaks, received the Fresno State University Carolyn Dobbs Award. And last but not least, Pam Method, a specialized learning center teacher at Pinkham, was recognized by TCOE for her outstanding work in the field. So congratulations to those individuals. Moving on to our district employee appreciation event recently held at our baseball stadium. We know there's so many recognitions for our outstanding staff. We had over 700 staff and family take advantage of this event. One of our employees of the year throughout the first pitch, and a student from El Diamante High School sang the national anthem. So it was a great evening, great weather. And so we look forward to continuing those traditions, but also finding ways, maybe looking at on the weekend so that all of our employees are able to attend. So we'll continue to look at how we do great things like that, and great opportunity to get some free tickets and just go out and have a good time with the family. As I get close to the end, I do want to spend just a quick second on this, because our Board of Education came together on Friday in a board working session. We have these every, 3 or 4 plus times a year. And really it's an all-day event where the board really gets down to working on setting goals, priorities, that sort of thing, setting the direction from their role as a board for how we want to move our district forward, what we expect. And we talk a lot about accountability, and we talk a lot about we want our scores to be good and all this and that, but how often do we get to the point where we actually declare, here's what we want to see, and superintendent, we're going to hold you accountable and you'll hold the district accountable to reaching these targets. And so our board spent half of the day working on setting goals for the first 3 performance targets in our district. We have several more to go. There are 11 altogether, but these performance targets are a 5-year goal from where we are now to where we need to get. And if we reach that point, they each represent us moving above the state average, moving above the majority of Central Valley schools, but it's just a start, right? It's just recognizing, yes, we want every kid to reach that, but we also recognize where we're starting. We also recognize the average of the area and the state average. And so we're going to set ambitious but achievable goals. And then when we reach those goals, we're going to set new ones. But for the first time that obviously since I've been here and in a little while coming out of COVID, our board is saying we are going to be focused on student performance, and we're going to be transparent with our community beyond just what we report on the state dashboard. And I think that's what's powerful, right? Those are oftentimes minimum standards. And so we're going to be sharing more information about this as we get ready to launch our strategic plan. But I did want to take a minute to recognize the powerful work of our board at the last board working session on this Friday. And also taking some time in the afternoon, we spent some time looking at our long-range facility plan and all of the many factors that go into developing that, from our current growth and capacity. And so our community, we're going to be launching a series of, over the summer, kind of like education information modules that will lead up to community meetings convening this fall, where you're going to be invited to come in and talk about what do our boundaries need to look like, where we need to make construction, all those sorts of things. And so it's going to be a busy several months, but I encourage our community, when these information pieces come out, please take advantage of them, because these are complex challenges that we have to solve as a community, right? It's not just as simple as doing one thing. And so it's really important that we all work to make sure we're educated when we come into those conversations. So it was a full working day, and compliments to our board. Some were there on their day off. Some were having to take, a day from work, whatever it might be, to commit to that. And so I applaud our board. I don't know of many boards that put forth that energy and that effort into setting the direction for the district. So thank you for that. Also probably why they were California School Board Association of the Year. They told us we can't repeat. I did check. I don't understand why not, but that's not my rule. Okay. So as we look into April, May, again, a lot of spotlights and observances: Assistant Principals Week, Child Abuse Prevention Month, National School Principals Day, School Lunch Hero Day, National Teacher Appreciation Week, National Police Week. Very proud of our partnership with our youth service officers. Mental Health Awareness Days, Asian Pacific Islander Day or Month, National School Nurse Day. And for a lot of these things, even though, we're showing some social media, there's school events and other things that happen that coincide with these events for recognition. Social media, we put out information about our quarterly report, College of Sequoia, and Arbor Day, I believe it was. And then moving on, appreciation for our bus drivers. We held a luncheon. We had our High Five Friday at Elbow Creek. And of course, the CAP countdown is on for our seniors getting ready to graduate and walk across the stage here in just a couple of weeks. And so before I conclude the report, I do just want to call out a couple events that have happened, but that we're going to capture in the spotlight, just so you don't think we forgot. Obviously, our Slick Rock Film Festival, several of our schools placed in that. That was held last week, and so we'll bring that to you in June. We had an amazing retirement celebration at Mount Whitney High School gym last week, and we're able to honor our teachers that were retiring and staff that were retiring. And of course, I saw some images or some pictures from Visalia Times Delta, but our prom that was held at the convention center, it was packed. That floor was packed. And so what's amazing about that is our students all coming together. I don't know anybody that does one prom for all schools. That's very unique to Visalia. All coming together to just really have a great night of fun, dancing, food, and those things. And I understand from good sources that when the lights came on at 11, they weren't ready to leave. They were having such a good time. And so thank you to our staff. A lot of work goes into making those events possible. And so thank you for doing that. And so we'll bring some images from those events as we go into our June board meeting. And then as a reminder, for our last June board meeting in July, we won't have a spotlight. We'll pick that up again in August. So, Madam President, that was a lot, but we have a lot to be proud of in Visalia with our students and staff. And so that concludes my report. And thank you to our students and families that came. Thank you all.
Definitely. A round of applause to all.
You're welcome to stay if you want, but
That represents a lot of hard work of students and staff and parents, and amazing good things. All right. But now we'll move to launch ready for 2024-25 school year with Superintendent Schrum.
as we talk about getting ready to launch ready, kind of our theme for the summer, we know that work to make sure we're ready to start school in August has been ongoing throughout this school year. And so we're just going to take a brief minute or two by division to really just share some highlights that we think our community and the public might want to make sure they're aware of. Also goes to show that while we're off in the summer, that's not really the case, because we have many educational programs going on in the summer. We have training, we have facilities being worked on, all of those things happen. And so summer actually in school systems is very busy. And so at this time, I will call up our first division, Nathan Hernandez in Business Services, to tell us a little bit about what they're doing to launch ready.
Good evening, President Gaby and members of the board. So as you know, I'm going to jump right in and we're going to be going through this pretty quickly, but in our business services team, you know, our focus is on ensuring students and staff have the resources that they need to be successful. And so we're furiously finalizing the 24-25 budget. We did just get the May revision of the state budget, and we know from where the state was in January, there are some additional deficits that the state is facing, but from what we can understand, is there are no additional cuts to our core educational services. So we'll continue to get information out of that, but that news just came out just a few days ago. And so we're also finalizing and rolling over our systems, purchasing and payroll, most importantly, but also making sure that we're ready to close out the year and prepare for next fiscal year. Chromebooks are on order and will be here for all the appropriate grade levels. And then we're focusing on making sure classrooms and students have technology and things are ready in classrooms for day one. And with that, I will turn it over to Mr. DeMeo.
Thank you, sir. All right. Thank you, board. Thank you for having us up this evening, highlighting the things that are happening to get ready for next year. So in educational services, you know, you've heard me say this many times. It's our job to make sure we get kids what they need to be successful. And that's nowhere more important than in the work of keeping our schools and campuses safe. So we're working really hard this summer to make sure that those campaigns are in place. We've got those opportunities for new staff members to learn, reteaching opportunities, and lots of trainings over the summer to make sure we're keeping up with what that's looking like. We know our families, when they bring their kids to school, they expect us to make sure their kids are safe, and we're going to ensure that that happens. Another thing that's exciting is our Family Community Resource Center, especially with our new director. Sandra's going to be overseeing that work, and we know a lot of our families register students for school over the summer because our school sites, most of them are going to be closed for July. Last year, we registered over 1,000 kids in the month of July, so we're real excited about having that work continue. And then in expanding learning opportunities program, Nathan just shared that we've been spared a bit from the state budget. Super excited to know that our expanded learning programs are going to be funded again next year. Great things have been happening, so we're working hard on what that's going to look like next year. And you've heard lots of things that have taken place with our special education work this current year. Next year, we're looking to continue the great things that have taken place at middle school. We're going to be moving that model up to the high school level. And again, making sure our staff and students are prepared for the challenges that are going to be coming their way. And with that said, I invited my friend, Mr. Dillon.
Thank you. Just a couple quick highlights about the things that our Human Resources Development Division continue to do each day to obviously ensure that we are prepared and ready, that our positions have highly qualified individuals in those positions, and that all of our students have a qualified and readily equipped teacher in front of them coming day one of school. So a few of the things as kind of I just referenced, we continue to hire, our daily screening, conducting interviews. Many of our teaching positions have already been filled. This is the time of year where we tend to have folks who are moving out of the area or things like that. We will find out around this time. So there are a few other positions. As we filled positions, I think reported to the board not too long ago, we had filled many of our positions, a high percentage of those positions we were aware of. Continue to recruit, we'll do so over the next month, but very excited and feel very positive about where we're at right now this year comparatively to the positions we need to have filled going into August. And then in addition, there's a number of different onboarding activities taking place. Excited to see how we continue to expand our onboarding efforts, working in partnership with our other division partners and colleagues, both the district office and our school sites, to build out onboarding training opportunities so that folks start off on the right foot and they feel equipped and prepared to really step in and carry out the work when they enter into the role. And then the last thing I would share is some of the things we continue to do is building out our partnerships, working with our labor partners. We are wrapping up actually bargaining with Visalia Unified Teachers Association and excited about those next steps. And then our classified bargaining is well underway and on track to get things in place so that all of our folks know what to expect, what's in place for them, our teachers and our support staff as we enter into the next year. And then the last thing, we continue to really try to practice distributive leadership, really taking a human-centered approach to the work that we do. So the end user in mind, the more we can put resources and information in the hands of our employees, the greater trust, the greater transparency, the less confusion, and ultimately the better work environment, because we want everyone to be as successful and informed as they can, because that trickles down to our kids. Thank you. Assistant Superintendent Mark Thompson.
Thank you, Ben. In learning and leadership, it's actually a very busy time of year right now as we prep for next year. One of the big things I want to highlight is just this idea of coherence building. As you guys are aware, we have balanced instructional models, we have pacing guides, we have leadership frameworks, we have a lot of pieces that we have put together. Our goal and focus is to really dial in everything in that it's well prepared for day one, but actually before day one. So teachers have what they need in place before the school year starts. Principals have what they have in place and have clarity of where we're going for the school year. What does that look like? And we're really excited about that work. So how does that happen? Right? We don't just make it in isolation here at the district office. That would be short-sighted. We really are at this time of the year and beginning of the summer, really bringing in staff members, making sure what we have is vetted, looked over, reviewed, updated, and adjusted to make sure that we are targeting what the end user need, which is our teachers, because our teachers are the ones that set those conditions for our students to learn, and just being very mindful of that. So really preparing for the next school year, not just with trainings, but making sure we have the right materials, the right things in hands, that we're looking at the continuous improvement of our products and materials that we have in our instruction and in our curriculum so they're ready to go day one. Second thing I wanted to highlight, and I appreciate so much the partnership we have with VUTA as we've been working through this, but we recognize that a elementary bell schedule was needed to ensure our students had more access and flexibility and our teachers had more opportunities. One thing I wanted to highlight this year coming up is we'll be having professional learning time during the school day. During some of our VAPA classes, the homeroom teacher will be doing that. Very excited about that work as it is a true partnership, as we do believe along with VUTA, that our teachers are professionals and they need professional development as they continue to grow and build in their craft. So just very excited about that work and that partnership that we have together. Just a quick change on that, you'll see is 8:10 is the start time school day, and we get out at 2:30. That'll be all K-6 students plus 7th and 8th grade students at K-8 sites. Of course, there's always opportunities after school for students to have additional learning going on through our extended learning program. Now, at this time, I hand over to Eric Kerr, our COO.
Thank you, Mark. Good evening, everyone. So just a couple of things about operations services tonight. Just really wanted to emphasize our mission that learning environments should be safe, supportive, and innovative. And oops, there we go. Sorry about that. As Superintendent Shrum mentioned, summertime is really our busy time. And so my team is busy. Actually, right now, they're making sure we get all the graduations off and ready to go, and that we get the schools they're going to be closed over the summer, get those plans done. But really, over the summer, we're going to continue in transportation, the TransFinder implementation. The routes are all complete now. Special ed is using it, as are the gen ed routes. We continue to have increased usage for the parents on the StopFinder app. And then we are also working on getting our kids used to scanning on and off the bus. We're learning that is a little bit of a heavier lift than we thought it was going to be, but we're just going to keep at it. We're at about any given day between 1,000 and 2,000 of our 4,500 kids that ride any given day are scanning on regularly. So we're at about 50%, not quite where we want to be, but we are making improvements there. In facilities, as I said, getting ready for next year. We've got lots of projects that are going to happen over the summer. We've got projects, some of them will start over the summer and some will be completing over the summer, and then we'll have some that will carry through. So we look forward to bringing that information to you as we complete those projects. In nutritional services, we still we'll continue with the no-cost breakfast and lunch for our kids. And so we're happy to be able to continue to offer that. The first day deployment, our team, we deploy, all of my management team and a lot of our other staff deploy out to the sites that first day just to make sure everything gets off to a good start. We start the year strong. And then we've been working with our partners in HR and the other divisions to really kind of get all of our policies living in one place on the new website as we build all that out. So lots of work behind the scenes on that. And so we're really excited to be able to launch that in the fall when we put those new policies online as the new website kind of continues to build out. With that, I think it's Rick, right?
Me. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So we're going to walk you through the superintendent's office, specifically our communications department, and the work that we're doing to help parents to engage more deeply with their students at their school sites, and with the district as a whole. So one of the things that we're really working on supporting Mr. Care's efforts with his department in transportation, with TransFinder, and helping message out to parents to get them actively involved in tracking with their students and helping them connect with the app. We're also doing a lot of work this year and starting next year with PowerSchool to improve our data systems. We found we had a lot of internal errors within PowerSchool that we're working to fix with tech services and our department. We're working on building out a whole new communication protocol with parents through My PowerSchool. So we've had in the past 4 or 5 different ways that parents had to use different products to try to communicate with schools or the district or find out information. And it's a very frustrating and non-supportive way for us to engage parents. And so we're moving towards a single platform over the next year that will allow parents to access their students' grades, to talk with their teachers, both us broadcast information and then for us to receive information from them. But also they'll get report cards in that. They can get updates from our communications department and our social media. They can change their enrollment information all in one spot. So they don't have to look all over the place to try to figure out how to engage with the school district or their school. So we're very excited about that process to help parents be more engaged in the process. And then we're also working with Mr. DeMayo's division on the family and student handbook and the code of conduct to make that a little more accessible. Again, trying to pull away from the 20th century printing pallets and pallets of documents and shipping them to schools and getting a little more digital and a little more user friendly with families. So we're not trying to mail out these giant packets that often don't get read. So we're trying to make it where they are more engaging and they are more accessible to families. So they use that information to stay informed. And then finally, work within PowerSchool. I'm proud to say this year, all 42 schools will be using PowerSchool to create schedules for their students. And all 42 schools will be using a grade book in PowerSchool for the first time since we've launched. So families will all have access live to their child's progress throughout the year and not have to wait for report cards to come out. So those are all pieces that we've been working on. Thank you.
Thank you for that update. And now we'll move to general public comment. General public comment on any school-related topic may be heard at this time. The board asks that any public comment on an item listed on tonight's agenda be addressed at the time the item comes up for discussion by the board. To comply with the Brown Act, California's open public meeting law, board discussion is limited to items on the agenda. Therefore, when receiving public comment for items not on the agenda, the board's role is limited to receiving such comments, and the board may not engage in dialogue with the public. The board thanks the public for its participation in public comment and understanding of the board's responsibility. Pursuant to board policy, the board will limit individual comments to no more than 3 minutes and individual topics to 20 minutes. It is recommended you begin your comments by stating your name. The first screen form I have is Leticia Cervantes.
Hi, my name is Leticia Cervantes, and I am Vice President of the Chair Booster Board at El Diamante High School. The retaliation continues. Last Thursday, May 9th, Tracy held cheer tryouts at El Diamante High School, where she continued to retaliate on my daughter. At cheer tryouts, Tracy did not allow my daughter to participate in the stunt portion of the tryouts because she had short nails on. My daughter had told Tracy She has prom on Saturday, and that was just 2 days away. And the contract says that she can have nails for this reason. Tracy's response was no, nails are not allowed, and didn't allow her to participate. The El Diamante cheer contract was signed and turned in at the parent meeting on May 1st. The contract clearly states nails are allowed during harvest, formal, prom time, but must be off within 1 week after. My daughter acted in accordance with the contract El Diamante cheer program provided. Tracy acted in direct opposition to the contract she provided. I believe, based on my prior disclosure and previous emails of the harassment, bullying, and retaliation towards my daughter, Tracy has and will continue because she has been allowed to and has not been held accountable. I would like to know how El Diamante High School and BUSD plan to fix this. In Visalia Unified School District's bullying and harassment policy, 5131.2, an employee who permits or engages in bullying or retaliation related to bullying shall be subject to disciplinary action up to and including dismissal. The Constitution and bylaws of CIF Pursuing Victory with Honor, page 13, paragraph 12I states, school boards, superintendents, principals, school administrators, and everyone involved at any level of the governance and a CIF must maintain ultimate responsibility for the quality and integrity of CIF programs. Such individuals must assure that education and character development responsibilities are not compromised to achieve sports performance goals, and that the academic, social, emotional, physical, and ethical well-being of student athletes is always placed above desires and pressures to win. Lastly, on February 20th, I submitted a public records request and have yet to receive any information requested. On April 30th, I reached out to Nathan Hernandez, who I was told was a new contact for this, and received zero response. I reached out again on May 1st, reminding him of the timelines and laws in place for Public Records Act request. I received a response from Nathan stating he would be getting back to me that Friday, May 3rd, and have yet to hear back. It's been 13 days and zero response. This again is unacceptable.
Coach Holly?
Like the board to know I'm on notice, Coach Holly here. First off, I would like to thank the district and take the time to thank Visalia for allowing me to bring our services to our students in the Visalia Unified School District. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Coach Holly. I'm a social and emotional learning specialist. I'm a nationally recognized coach, trainer, and public speaker. I'm the owner of Absolute Body Armor, which is a health and wellness training center in downtown Visalia. And I'm also a Visalia native that went on to play professional football, which eventually led me back to return to my hometown of Visalia to begin training and mentoring kids. Throughout this time of training and mentoring kids, this venture led me into developing the AMP Mentoring Program, which is a program that is designed to teach kids how to cultivate healthy relationships, identify stress and anxiety, depression. This program is specifically designed to help students improve their decision-making strategies and while also helping them create goal statements and action plans that will help them succeed in life. With the AMP program, we have helped our students understand the importance of fitness and mental resiliency, which when the understanding of both of them are applied together, it creates a more complete person. I want to take a moment to thank all the principals that we've worked with this past year for allowing us to bring this program to their school sites. We're proud of the work that we were able to accomplish. 78.6% of the students reported that AMP helped them a lot. 17% of the students reported that AMP decreased their feelings of nervousness and anxiety. 16% had a decrease in feelings of seeking help was a sign of weakness. And 25% of students reported a reduction in their drug use. And there's more that I do not have the time to state. As of current, we are not set to return to the district. As a lot of you may know, there are a lot of programs being cut due to budget constraints. Unfortunately, we are one of those programs that are not funded to come back this school year due to that reason. Nonetheless, I want you all to know that we still will be running the AMP Mentoring Program. As of current, we're getting ready to launch the AMP Summer Bridge Program, which will be run through the summer months at Absolute Body Armor, as well as we are currently contracting with other districts within the Tulare County line. My main purpose for getting on here tonight was to bring awareness to our program and shed light on the situation about the work that we're doing. The students have submitted some feedback from their AMP surveys and comments such as, I feel better by not getting mad. Another student said, I've been able to control my emotions better. Another student stated that it has helped me feel a bit more confident about my grades and more confident at succeeding in things in life. If you're interested in learning more about myself or my programs or what we have to offer, you can check out our Instagram page at Coach Holly Official or visit our website at amplifylevelup.com. I thank you all for your time, Mr. Shrum and the school board for your outstanding leadership and the time that we've been allowed to work here with the district. Thank you, you guys are greatly appreciated.
Thank you. And Greg Price.
I'm Greg Price, VUTA president. It's a bit apropos that at this time, it's likely the last time I will address the board as the VUTA president, that we get to talk about kids, because in the end, that's what this work is all about. Topic tonight is graduation and California Scholarship Federation lifetime membership or seal bearers. The California Scholarship Federation, or CSF, is a highly prestigious and widely recognized honor society for California scholars. CSF membership crosses all academic lines, is not subject or field specific, which makes it an equal opportunity for all high school students. There has been a long-standing tradition in Visalia and throughout the Central Valley of recognizing students who attained this lofty achievement at graduation individually. It is a 4-year achievement that holds students to rigorous standards. For decades, we have read their names so that they may be individually recognized at graduation. That's been happening since my parents were students in the 50s. It has been a consistent practice and honor bestowed on our best and brightest students and at all 4 comprehensive high schools. They all have active CSF chapters. It is my understanding that this cabinet and school board intend to preclude the students from being individually recognized in favor of a group stand and sit. In my opinion, and one shared by many teachers, that is simply not the right decision. A CSF lifetime member must be intentional about achieving academic excellence. They must remain focused from freshman to senior year. They must attend meetings. They have to pay dues. They have to be intentional about the classes they take. They have to maintain a stellar GPA, and they must be steady and consistent during their high school experience. Being a CSF lifetime member embodies the character traits which this district claims to promote. In an era where I hear the USD board and cabinet espouse A to G standards, 3rd year of math, high expectations for academics, I find it dichotomous to see the district decide that honoring the students who exemplify these ideals will no longer be individually recognized at graduation. I'm not really sure how this change is going to benefit students. To read off individual names at graduation for 40 students at under 5 seconds will only take 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. It shouldn't be a time issue. And to be clear, we should relish the reading of every single name on that list. It's a high achievement. In closing, I am thankful to CSF advisors who go the extra mile to ensure these students have an outlet and feel empowered to strive for excellence. It is a labor of love, and the parents of the students participating in CSF are thankful for your work as well. My parents always taught me to speak up when they don't think something's right. That's why I'm here tonight. I hope that everybody understands my idea here tonight is to promote individual excellence for our students. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment? Okay, moving to consent agenda. Would any board member like to pull an item from the consent? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Sorry, I'll motion.
Second.
Okay, on a motion by board member Case-Beer-Soleno and a second by board member Naylor, call for a vote.
Motion passes with school board rep voting yes, and board members 6 with 1 absent.
Okay, and as we move on to the reports, I would like to say on consent, I'm excited to see all of the materials for our dual immersion classes on there and that we continue to support those classes and their growth over at Willow Glen. With that, as I turn my pages, student board representative report.
Hi, everyone. My name is Megan Donnelly, and tonight I will be presenting the board report. For LD Monte High School, LD is celebrating the arts this week with performing arts assembly, a gallery walk, art workshop at lunch, drama skits, and MAA test screenings. LD Monte will honor seniors, yearbook dedications, and staff on our May 21st Reflections Assembly. El Diamante's Spanish language classes will host their annual sing-off on May 23rd and May 24th in the gym. For Golden West High School, Golden West capped off their Yosemite and Sierra Throwdown with a rally last week, crowning the inaugural champions of all school competition. Team Joshua Tree, led by teachers Keith Giles, Tarek Alshwugay, and Tara Yokum. This Friday, Golden West will celebrate their seniors with the annual Senior Recognition and Farewell Assembly, followed in the evening by Senior Sunset. Golden West student leadership had a great time visiting Pinkman, Mineral King, and Golden Oak for our elementary mini rallies, where students were introduced to the importance of blazing their own trail and setting themselves up for success in the future. Moving on to Mount Whitney. Mount Whitney hosted their annual Ag Awards and recognized students and staff for their hard work throughout the year and program. Mount Whitney boys swim team are Valley champions, and they have broken many swim records this 23-24 season. Mount Whitney track has had 2 students place in masters for jumps and discus. Mount Whitney recognizes their VAPA programs by showcasing their amazing talents at their rally during school. Redwood High School. Last Friday night was the annual Slick Rock Film Festival. Redwood continued its winning streak from last year, walking away with an impressive 7 Slick Rock Awards. Redwood hosted the Strolling Through the 50s themed prom last weekend. There was a great turnout and students danced all night long. Redwood Band's spring concert was on May 10th. They had a great program and presentations from Redwood Jazz Combo, Redwood Jazz Band, Redwood Percussion Assembly, Redwood Brass Assembly, Redwood Saxophone Quartet, Redwood Wind Ensemble, Redwood Rangers Symphonic Band, and that was it. Sequoia. Sequoia completed another bridge program for all new students attending our school. We offer a big thanks and shout out to the student services with the help of Mr. Stephen Admonson and Mr. Frank Escobar for teaching our staff how to conduct this evening going forward. Our science department continues to have great field trips in the mosquito facility, the National Parks trip, and Earth Day celebration at the farmers market coming up. Our foster youth were given the opportunity for a nice field trip to COS and experience of accessing higher education. 11 Sequoia students were able to visit Alcatraz in partnership with CSET. VCIS. VCIS celebrated Teacher Appreciation Week with a wonderful gifts of VCIS swag and delicious treats. VCIS staff would like to thank the admin team for the support and recognition. VCIS held their annual awards and scholarship night of the El Diamante Theater on May 6th. Dozens of students were recognized. VCIS ASB helped in decorating, hosting, and volunteering at prom. The prom evening was a huge success. VCIS ASB also volunteered at the Miracle League on Friday, May 3rd. It was a rewarding evening of community service. VCIS grad night trip to Disneyland is on May 15th. VCIS has approximately 30 excited seniors attending. Moving on to VTech. VTech held their annual FFA banquet to celebrate their year. The FFA program would like to thank all board members, including Belts, Gamoyan, Naylor, Mr. Shin, and Mr. Shrum for their attendance. VTech ASB recently had their officer elections and continue to fundraise for amazing events for our VTech students. VTech is excited to be attending grad night for the first time at Disneyland today. VTech will be running a fundraiser called Bloom for Good, which will start soon. And that completes the board report.
And VTech will have goat yoga next Friday. Just saying. Thank you for your report. And we'll start board member reports. Mr. Belt.
Well, I'm glad to find out that we aren't changing our logo. Earlier this week, I was asked by a constituent, is this Visalia Unified? This is not Visalia Unified. So to our colleagues on the other dais, good luck. But we did have a wonderful interaction with Visalia City Council and the COS board a couple of weeks ago. It's always a good idea for us to see face to face the things that we are intimately interactive with. We appreciate each other, though I think too often school board is thought lesser than the big people at the council and at COS, when actually I know that we do far more work than they do. So many things that we've all been involved with, the scholarship presentations, tens of thousands. Actually, I know we're still trying to add it up, hundreds of thousands of dollars from all different types of individuals in our community, including people who want to make sure that golfers continue to golf. That was some of the awards that I gave at LD here last week. But the amazing thing is students have opportunities to go to school, and actually Ed Foundation issued them checks this week, not waiting till when they're actually enrolled in school. So they, like Sequoia High School's recipient of the award that I gave, he had a check in his hand and said, I could buy a computer now. Was that endearing, that real? Also want to highlight Mrs. Bingaman, Principal Bingaman from Shannon Ranch, not only had the pleasure of seeing her students do an amazing musical, but she was featured. She actually had a picture on the milk carton as if you see this missing person. The Newsies musical Golden West, Mr. Lambert, that is probably one of the best musicals I have ever seen. And I've seen a lot of them in the last 40 years. And so I wanted to make sure we highlight all of our VAPA programs. Went to the Redwood Dance show. It was the third one I went to. It's amazing. We have over 1,000 students at Visalia Unified who can outdance anything that I ever attempted, but they are learning excellence in dance. It's not whether or not they become professional dancers. They are gaining foundational effort, understanding, skills, and talent. And it's absolutely amazing we have that kind of ongoing opportunity for them. The last thing I want to also highlight is the retirement recognition we went to was that Friday? At the end of the full day of Friday. I want to make sure that I say it loudly. Any retiring employee of Visalia Unified, Delia, write down all the things you ever do, because we're going to have massive gaps this coming fall with new hires and new places. And we can't replace everyone who's going into this next chapter of their life. We send you out thanking you for what you've done, but also realizing there will be some do-overs for us in trying to make sure we fill all the gaps of those who have served, students, fellow teachers, fellow staff at Visalia Unified for a lot of years. Thank you.
Board member Case Beer Solano.
I was able to go to the Uno, Dos, Tres Andres concert, and honestly, I've been to a lot of school events, and I'm probably biased because my kid was there having fun, but it was just amazing. It was absolutely incredible night. There were so many members of our community, and I just wanted to say that I think that there's Like I remember telling my husband when we were walking away from that event, thinking there's no way you could have attended that event and not been so impressed by your child's school. And I think that that's why those events are so important. And so thank you. I can see some of you in the back there for putting that on. It really was a great, great event. I wanted to highlight a couple summer reading programs that are local to us. So Tulare County Library does a summer reading program. They have it for all ages. There is a lot of books. I think if you're 0 to 5, you have to read 30 books. There's a log, but you can do an audiobook. Your parents can read you the book. And so really, it's not too bad. And they get a free treasure chest visit at the end. And then if you were really going to do it this summer, you roll that into our new Barnes and Noble also does a summer reading program where if you read 8 books, then you get to pick a free book. So make sure if you are out in the community, and like I said, the Tulare County Library and Barnes and Noble, it's for kids of all ages. They just have different things you have to do. It mostly involves a reading log. But please keep that in mind for the summer. It's really helpful for learning that they keep it going. Also at the Visalia Branch Library this summer, I wanted to note that they are doing a free lunch program for youth under the age of 18. So Tuesdays through Fridays, they offer free lunch for anyone under the age of 18. And then lastly, I did want to shout out Hummus Republic. They helped us by providing us a free meal at our board training, as well as it's my understanding they provided free lunch to, I don't know if it was one site or a couple school sites for Teacher Appreciation Week. So I wanted to, it was very good. Thank you to that local restaurant for doing that for us. And then lastly, I wanted to acknowledge you, Mr. Price. I know that you are retiring. I didn't get a chance to go to the retirement ceremony, but thank you for all that you've done for VUTA. How many years have you been the president now? 10. So thank you so much for doing that. And it's been an honor to work with you and to get to know you. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Odo.
Just a couple quick things here. First, thanks to the superintendent and staff for putting together and having the board participate in the strategic planning session last Friday. There are 2 parts to it. One part related to goal setting, and the conversation across the 7 of us there was fantastic. Each of us pushing the others further with regard to setting expectations and targets. That was a phenomenal thing, and I think we did good work that'll help the district become a better place for kids. The second part of that was an update on the current status of facilities in the district, working on the realities of where we were, kind of countering some of the lingering memories that we have regarding the way that schools load out and how schools are right now. For example, everyone thinks the growth is in the Northwest. Well, growth in the Southeast is also significant, so we'll have to work through all of that. But I look forward to continuing that work and to helping the district develop a strong strategic look at what we do with facilities, because it's going to be a long-term solution to a long-term issue. Finally, a point on prom, since I guess I'm the district historian, kind of sort of on some of this stuff. Prom of all schools together goes back at least 40 years. There was a time when I was told when I first came on as an assistant principal that the prom was the biggest one west of the Mississippi. The guy that told me that used lots of hyperbole, so I'm sure that was that too. But 2,000 plus kids in the same spot across the high schools is a big darn deal. They come together and in a fun and collaborative kind of way. There's no hostility. You don't have fights and stuff like that, none of that dumb stuff. But it really kind of reflects the way that schools help kids become community members together as adults. And that's a fantastic thing. So that prom tradition is a wonderful thing. Mrs. Naylor will remember, as a school administrator, that we used to do the icebreaker dance for the freshmen, all schools together. That was a different kind of thing where you had to have your own horse and gun and helmet to survive that. We took that apart because it was just, the kids weren't ready for that as freshmen. But everybody always looked forward to the prom every year because it was a big thing. And if you think about it, most kids who attend that don't go to anything else in their lives where you've got that many people from a common background coming together to have fun and to respect each other doing it. So that's a fantastic thing. That's it.
Thank you. And thank you to our high schools for growing them up in those 4 years. And Board Member Villegas.
I really appreciate the history because I'm not ready to dance as an adult. So that's amazing. I want to wish everyone a happy Hmong American Day. This month is API month, as you recognize, but today celebrates the 49th anniversary when the first wave of Hmong refugees arrived here to the United States. And if you didn't know, the Central Valley is home to the largest Hmong population in the country. And so the California State Legislature has moved to recognize today, May 14th, as Hmong American Day. And so I also wanted to recognize that today in my board report, and also ask if we can potentially look at adding a resolution to honor Hmong American Day as part of our resolutions here at VUSD, as we honor many of our groups and community members through those resolutions. I also wanted to take a moment to bring attention to the CalKids Savings Account program, which the state of California has committed to essentially help create this fund to help children from low-income families save money for college or career. So that can be for technical schools, can be for community colleges, can be for universities, and really contributing a good chunk of change, $500 to $1,500 for low-income students who qualify, specifically from underserved communities. And we know that so many of those communities are here at VUSD and could benefit tremendously from this program. However, I was reading an article earlier today that recognized that it's being underutilized right now, with only about 8% of eligible students taking advantage of this program. And I imagine the numbers look similar in our district. And so to that end, I had a few questions for our staff. One, which is what percentage of our students currently qualify for the CalKids Savings Program? Two, out of those numbers of students, how many have actually accessed this state-funded account and taken steps to go through this process? And three, what kind of steps have we taken as a district to promote this program to our students, families, and communities? And I don't know if we have answers to those questions tonight. I don't believe we do, because I emailed these questions, almost right before our board meeting. But I look forward to some of those answers. And I wanted to highlight this because our neighbors to the north at Fresno Unified have created a district-wide campaign to raise awareness about these accounts. At their district, so far, only 6.64% of students have claimed those accounts. And so I believe we should be doing the same and then some, right? Whether that's making posts on social media, creating how-to guides on how to enroll, and perhaps even building this into the enrollment process itself, I think would be game-changing for so many students and families who are enrolling in TK or enrolling at their sites. Having somebody to guide them through the process and help them through the process, I think could be a game changer. Studies indicate that having even as little as $500 saved in a college savings account makes a student 3 times more likely to enroll in college and 4 times more likely to graduate than a student without savings. And so recognizing the potential power of this program, I hope that we can do everything in our power as a district to make sure that every eligible student is able to participate and receive this account. And finally, I also wanted to take a moment to applaud and recognize students from several of our high schools that participated in the HEAL project and led a charge to create a citywide mural. They recently had their citywide mural design approved at the last city council meeting and moving forward. So I want to thank our Visalia city council members for moving forward and supporting this design and project. And I also do want to express my disappointment that we did not make that happen here at VUSD as originally intended years ago. The project being youth-led, from planning and execution to coordination, all these students demonstrated such professionalism in their public comments, in their participation, in their communication, and their design throughout this whole civic engagement process. And so I hope that moving forward, we can partner with the HEAL Project and with the Urbanist Collective to bring this art and this youth-led process to our district here at Visalia Unified across all of our sites. We absolutely recognize the power of arts and advocacy and student voice, and I think we should be illustrating that within our own walls and our schools as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Naylor.
Yes, most of my stuff was already talked about, so I'm not going to repeat, but I did have an opportunity to go out to see the STEM night at Four Creeks, and I just want to thank the teachers and the staff and Principal Majorian for putting that on. It was an amazing event. We had lots of different booths for kids to go to and do science projects. We have Southern California Edison there, just all kinds of community members. So it was an amazing event. So thank you so much. I also had an opportunity to go to Manuel Hernandez. So thank you to Principal Leal, who, again, food trucks, and they had books out for kids to grab, and just a lot of parents there, a lot of kids involved, amazing activities. So it was a great night. And just thank you, because those are the things that get parents, families involved in reading and science and the things that we want. I did attend the VTech FFA, and I just have to say something because I just think it's such an amazing program, and it was nice to see. It was such a community. Those kids all applauded each other, were happy for the awards they received, and all the time that they put in to that program. So thank you, Principal Braun, for an amazing night. It was nice to see the smiles and the accolades as those kids got their awards.
Thank you. So yes, kind of just echoing what everyone has said. I think the board study session, we've been looking kind of like for metrics almost since API went away. And so it's good to be focused, and we had great conversations and moving ahead with some metrics to support student learning and move that forward. Scholarship night, I cannot believe the amount of community that donate scholarship money to our students. So thank you to all of those. And CSF luncheon, I didn't realize that was only a Visalia High School's event, that, a lot of the surrounding districts, it wasn't all of Tulare County. It was special between COS hosting that for our Visalia students. And definitely, I agree with Mr. Price. Life, that puts a lot of work into those 4 years and earning that. And along with that, yes, congratulations on your retirement. I've known Mr. Price back since Mineral King days, and always put students first. So thank you for your work. I did miss the retirement. I was at CIF sectionals for track and field. So with that, I'll say the masters are this Saturday at Buchanan. We have students from all 4 of our comp high schools that will be competing there, and just some amazing athletes in our district too. And graduation's upcoming. So thank you to parents for pushing their students again, and all the staff. I know there's so much work that goes into graduation, but it really is kind of why we exist. It's that culminating experience. And so looking forward to that week. And with that, Superintendent Shrub.
All right, well, thank you again. We are prepared to finish strong. We have graduations, we have promotions, really working to make sure we get information out for those events. So as we highlighted tonight, you'll notice that on our website, and then all of our schools, of course, middle high schools in particular, sharing information about those things so that everybody's prepared on time and has the right decorum for us to have a ceremony that recognizes and honors our students. So excited about that. Now, of course, let's start looking at the weather. Fingers crossed, 80s would be really nice. So put that positive goodwill out there. Also want to thank the board for my evaluation and the feedback associated with that. It's an honor to serve this board that's focused on setting goals, setting priorities, and holding the district accountable. That says a lot about what you believe, and working in ambiguity and uncertainty is not a good place to be. And so what's powerful here is our board is saying, here's what we want, and here's what we expect. And so that provides clear targets for our district. And so I do appreciate all of the work that our board puts into those events. I also want to echo a couple of retirements as well. Of course, moving into the superintendency, the first superintendency, not to mention across the country, right? So a couple of different things factored in. And so a couple of those individuals, one, of course, Delia Smart, who's been our board manager, coming in and never having obviously worked as a superintendent, all of those things that go into making sure we're ready, we're prepared, that we meet compliance, that we, have all the wonderful rules. That rules exist everywhere, but let me just tell you, there are a lot more in California than a lot of places. So making sure that we meet all of those pieces. And so just really also want to echo and thank her for her leadership and her work for many superintendents that have had the opportunity to work with her. Also, very similar in that, things are a little different in some states. And so, unions are not a factor or part of, the educational policy, so to speak, in Georgia and Tennessee. And so coming to a state where, we have a bargaining partner, where there are a lot of different agreements and things in place, I couldn't have asked for a better union president than exists with Greg Price. And so I also want to echo, he's been patient with me being a new superintendent to a union, having all, learning what it means to bargain, learning what it means to do all those things. And while we always certainly don't always agree on everything, we always are able to have cordial conversations, and we listen to each other and respect each other. So I just also want to echo, I was very fortunate as a new superintendent to come into not only this board, but also some of the leaders within our district and our community that help make that transition, hopefully from everyone's perspective, successful. So thank you all, and I know you won't be strangers, so we'll see you around, and looking forward to your continued contributions to Visalia Unified. So just a few more weeks left. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, staff. Thank you, principals. This is exciting but busy time of year, and I know you are ready and our kids are ready to end this year strong. So with that, this will be our last regular board meeting before the summer break. And so I want to wish all of our students, our families, and others an amazing, safe summer. And I hope that you're engaged in either Visalia activities or all of those things that other board members or community members have shared. There's plenty to do in Visalia community this summer to stay connected. And so I hope every student stays connected. And so with that, that concludes my report.
I thought if we didn't mention Delia, she couldn't retire.
Oh, okay.
So, all right, recommended expulsions. May I have a motion to approve the recommended expulsions?
I'll motion.
I'll second. On a motion by Board Member Case-Beer-Soleno and a second by Board Member Gaby, a call for a vote.
Student board member abstains. Motion passes 6 with 1 absent.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve the recommended suspended expulsions?
I'll motion.
Second.
On a motion by Board Member Case-Beer-Soleno and a second by Board Member Odo, I'll call for a vote.
Student board rep abstains. Motion passes 6 with 1 absent.
The adoption of instructional materials for high school, medical assistant, Academy of Law and Justice, Academy of Education, AP Spanish Literature, AP Spanish Language, the second read, presenter administrator of Teaching and Learning, Brianne Phillips.
Good evening, President Gaby, Superintendent Trum, board members, and community. This is our second read, and you will see here in a minute that the slide deck is quite familiar from what we reviewed last time. So as we know, all our adoptions are focused on our students being able to achieve at high levels and demonstrating continuous growth, as well as equipping our students and staff with our educational tools necessary for achievement and growth. Through our adoption process, we truly are setting the conditions all the way through to our students in order for them to achieve at high levels. As mentioned previously, we are bringing forward for approval our textbooks for medical assistants, Academy of Law and Justice, Academy of Education, AP Spanish Literature and Culture, and AP Spanish Language. Reviewing quickly our adoption process through creating a committee of teachers, sending out an RFQ to our publishers, screening those resources, we paper screen, we pilot our resources, and then we bring that selection back up, as well as previous to bringing, we have our public review. Our medical assistance program was under adoption because the medical field is continuously changing, and we need to make sure that we are providing the most up-to-date medical books for our programs. So the book that they are recommending is the Medical Assistant. We will receive 60 student editions, 60 student study guides, and the cost for this adoption is $11,100. This serves our VCIS school. Our Academy of Law and Justice, our timeline, which has brought us here today, they are bringing forth 2 books for adoption, the first being Street Law. With Street Law, we will receive 154 student print textbooks and digital access, 2 teachers editions, 2 online teacher subscriptions for a cost of $16,637. The second book we're bringing forward is Introduction to Law. This textbook, we will bring forward 35 student textbooks for a cost of $4,900. Our Academy of Education, we are bringing forth, this is our new academy that we are launching in the fall. And this will be our 9th grade introductory course. So the book we're bringing forward is Those Who Can Teach. With this adoption, we'll receive 60 student textbooks as well as our teacher editions. The cost for this textbook is $10,025. Our AP Spanish language, as well as our AP Spanish literature, they follow the same timeline for our adoption process. Our first book that we're bringing up for adoption is Temas. This is for our AP Spanish language. This comes with a five teacher digital licenses because it's across multiple school sites. 160 student hardcover editions. Those are for in class. 160 student AP exam prep soft cover editions. 280 digital license. Our model is digital license for students with class sets of hardcovers. As well as our getting started training, virtual check-ins throughout 24 and 25, and our cost for our adoption is $90,125.72. Our second and final book that we are bringing forth for approval is Azulejo. With this textbook, we are also receiving similarly 5 teacher soft cover editions and digital license come with that. 161 hardcover editions and digital license, 1 getting started teacher training, 2 virtual teacher check-ins, as well as the cost of adoption is $46,253. And with that, if there's any questions.
Is there any public comment? Any board member comments? Thank you very much. And thank you for all those involved in the process. May I have a motion to approve the adoption of the recommended instructional materials?
Move to approve.
And seconded.
On a motion by Board Member Odo and a second by Board Member Belt.
Student Board Rep votes yes, motion passes 6 with 1 absent.
All right, resolution to eliminate certificated employee services for the 2024-25 school year due to a reduction of particular kinds of services. Assistant Superintendent of HRD, Ben Dillon.
Thank you, Board President Gaby, Superintendent Shrum, members of the board. I am bringing forward to you tonight the request to approve the resolution to reduce the number of certificate employees as indicated in Exhibit A as a result of lack of work or lack of funds. I will note that all of the positions here are vacant positions, and the employees who may have otherwise been in positions are in different positions as we prepare to go forward into the 24-25 school year.
Thank you. Is there any public comment? Any board member comment? May I have a motion to approve the resolution?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
On a motion by Board Member Case-Beer-Soleno and a second by Board Member Villegas, call for a vote.
Student Board Rep abstains, motion passes 6 with 1 absent.
Resolution in the matter of ordering regular governing board member elections on November 5th, 2024. Superintendent Shrum.
Thank you, President Gaby. Staff is requesting approval of the resolution to order an election to be held in VUSD trustee areas 5, 6, and 7 in this district by trustee area on November 5th, 2024 for the purpose of electing 3 members for 4-year terms. It also makes certain specifications for the election clerk's use in arranging the election, consolidates the school district's election with the general election, and advises the TCOE Superintendent of Schools of the newspaper in which the written notice of election is to be published, which will be the Visalia Times Delta.
Is there any public comment? Any board member comments? May I have a motion to approve the resolution?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
On a motion by Board Member Odo and a second by Case-Beer-Soleno, call for a vote.
Student Board Rep abstains, motion passes 6 with 1 absent.
Okay, board policy revisions, adoptions, deletions. Superintendent Shrum.
Thank you, President Gaby. Board, as you recall, we've recently held our board policy discussions around revisions, most of these aligning with new ed code requirements coming from the state. This is a first read only. These items are available on our agenda, a link, and then we will bring those back at the June meeting for adoption.
And last but not least, Chief Business Officer Nathan Hernandez for the warrant list.
Good evening, President Gaby. This is our routine action to approve warrants from March 23rd through April 26, 2024.
Is there any public comment? Any board member comments? May I have a motion to approve the warrant list?
Move to approve?
I'll second.
On a motion by Board Member Odo and a second by Case Beer Soleno, I'll call for a vote.
Student board member votes yes. Motion passes 5 with 1 abstention and 1 absent.
And the meeting is now adjourned.